Hey Rat City. Our focus in this video is going to be what we will just refer to, or have been referring to here at the gym, as turning and pulling focuses. Basically what that means is, in the first couple rounds of work, we're going to focus on turning. Now, I want to emphasize that we really want to drive the rotation in our punch through the hips. That said, I have been finding it useful to help cue people to also turn the rib cage. Now, it doesn't work the other way around. We're not going to motor that movement just through the rib cage, as from our waist up in that mid-back area, rib cage area, isn't meant, or we aren't built with a lot of range in our rotation in that part of our bodies in and of itself. But combined with the hip, there's something about telling people to just turn their rib cage more that tends to help them get a little more rotation. And I'm speaking generally here, get a little more rotation into the punch. Of course, there can be a lot of other factors depending on who the boxer is, but we're just going to kind of speak broadly here. So first couple rounds, we're going to focus on really turning our rib cage into our punches. So not really, so I'm going to keep things pretty basic. I'm going to throw lots of ones, lots of twos, lots of threes. I'm going to put those together. I might throw some other punches to the body, but I recommend, regardless of your experience level, trying to keep it basic and sometimes just challenging yourself by turning into your 1, 2, 3 would be the combination that you would throw. See what kind of turn you can get into each of those punches. We'll do that a couple of rounds, and then we're going to shift our focus to pulling, which I'll cover on the break between rounds. And I'm basically asking you to do the same thing. We're just approaching our movement from kind of a different direction. And so then we'll just focus on really pulling the non-punching side of our body, really kind of trying to sharpen those mechanics and teach our body where we want it to go, where we want it to accelerate and decelerate at the driver, into the driver, or the beginning of the punch, through the middle, into the middle, and through to the end of the punch. So we'll play around with that a little bit, try to have a little bit of fun with that. We'll be on 2-minute rounds with a 1-second break today. If you want to, after the few rounds, just repeat the workout, of course, you're more than welcome to. Try to make that plan in advance. We're just going to go a couple rounds of each of those focuses. All right. I'm going to get the timer queued up. Remember to try to get that little extra turn on your rib cage, especially when you're turning into the cross and the hook. 30 seconds is what that means. 30 seconds. right, take a break. Again, we're on a 60-second rest. Just looking to have a stable base. Drive those hips. Turn through the rib cage. For some of you, it might feel even, for some people, it helps to think of it as you're exaggerating that turn just a little bit. So play around with that. I am boxing in my southpaw stance. I'm going to switch a little bit more. Pardon me, I'm going to switch a little this next round just to keep myself fresh and sharp on the left side, and also refer to my left side. So when I do box from my southpaw stance, I'm having a sense of what might feel ideal in my stance and turning in my punches, since I am naturally an orthodox boxer. All right, here we go. Thirty seconds. All right. I'm immediately sending my focus to my breath in between rounds. And so this next round, we're going to move on to pulling. So instead of focusing on turning that rib cage a little extra as we throw the punch, as we drive the punch, we're going to focus on pulling the non-punching hand. So if I'm throwing my jab to initiate, I'm actually really anchoring and kind of pulling on this right side. And then I'm going to really quickly drive or pull back real strong on the left side and immediately let go of that right hand, or of the other side, wherever the non-punching hand is. Try to let it go immediately so it's all part of one fluid motion. One, two is a great place to start working on that, and you can work a 2-3, and then you can put it all together for a 1-2-3. 30 seconds. A little delay on that from mine. Gotta fix that. There we go. Okay. All right, so there are definitely moments there where I have to remind myself to pull on the non-punching side. One of the things that cued me to that is you want to be dialed into the feedback that you're getting. And everything's providing feedback. You can think of it as failure feedback. But the delay, so I'm listening to the tempo of my punches landing, listening to the rhythm of that, and it's letting me know where there's too much of a delay between my punches, which cues me that perhaps I could either pull a little more aggressively in the non-punching side and or release that punch sooner as I start to come back instead of holding it back. That's some feedback. Stay loose, y'all. Stay loose in between. Thirty seconds. You'll even pull into your slips. Good. All right, that was just a quick 4 rounds. Go ahead and repeat those if you feel up to it. Repeat a couple if you feel up to that. But you can either just do this workout, maybe you do it whatever day you do it, and then you can add a turn or pull focus to any of the other bag work that you're opting to do in the week. A couple rounds, hey, I'm gonna do a turn focus. Couple rounds, I'm going to do a pull focus. All right, please comment or DM me with any questions you have so that we can be sure that we are giving you the best learning experience possible, best online learning experience possible.